Big good one here, and eventually we will like, subscribe, share, comment, all that good stuff. So, I haven't talked about this whole JJ Abrams being hired for the reboot of Superman situation, because I actually talked about this a while ago. I thought it was, like, officially confirmed, but I guess it wasn't. I guess they were just eyeing him. I don't really remember the content of that video, but I talked about this. I even speculated the Black Superman thing that everybody's going crazy about now. So, JJ Abrams hired for the reboot of Superman, or rather his company, Bad Robot. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Just look at his track record. Star Wars, Star Trek, and the lingering negative impacts, I mean positive ones. What a great business decision.
How do you afford this?
We're the Super Friends.
Yeah, but you guys have no income. You owe $4 million in back property taxes.
Now you just need a writer with the credentials to tackle something as financially important as a Superman reboot that surely has intent to have a bunch of successful sequels and maybe team-ups, crossovers. Oh, I know. Let's hire someone that isn't even a screenwriter. Let's hire someone who understands that Superman represents small-town, traditional American values. Let's hire someone that writes about white supremacy and white privilege, because that makes sense. That makes so much fucking sense. Like, that the person, if the person was a fucking Trojan horse planted by Disney, it makes sense.
All these diplomas on this wall don't make up for the fact that you got a little Vienna sausage in your drawers.
Before we get into this, real quick disclaimer, I'm white, I have no business speaking on this, I need to check my privilege, so I'd like to point you to a creator, Eric July, aka Young Ripper, another YouTuber who's absolutely great, and who's talked on this subject himself, about the newly hired Superman writer that's a political activist, trash writer, talentless hack, as you can see right there, he calls him talentless, and this writer has no business writing a movie because he's never fucking written one before, but yay, activism. So if you look here, the rumor JJ Abrams will be running with a Black Superman. Henry Cavill out, and that's pretty fucking sad because most people like Henry Cavill as Superman. They want to see him continue the role. For a lot of people that don't like Snyder's take, his darker take on everything, they would still like to see Henry Cavill in the role with a more lighthearted version that maybe JJ Abrams could deliver. But under the circumstances of who he hired, it makes absolutely no sense to. But actually, it does make sense. If you look at what Bad Robot's been up to over the past year or so, all the virtue signaling they've done, they've talked about how they're going to prioritize hiring people and how they work with them based on their skin color. So, all this, none of this is shocking to me. None of this is shocking to me that they would do this, and frankly, I don't really give that much of a shit. If they're gonna run with the one of the alternate universe versions of Superman, Black Superman, Calvin Ellis, and Val-Zod. So, I don't really give a shit about these characters. You want to run with them? That's fine. That's your own business. I don't care enough about these characters to actually watch this take. I don't understand why we're not giving Steel a movie. I mean, mechanically, you could fit that in still. I always argue for this, that Steel could have a movie planted right between Batman v Superman and the Justice League movie, where Superman is dead and absent, and Steel, John Henry Irons, rises up in his own neighborhood, inspired by Superman. Why? Why wouldn't you do it? Oh, because you're fucking stupid and don't know how to run a business except for in the ground? Anyways, there's talk that Michael B. Jordan could be playing this guy. And with respect to Michael B. Jordan, he said that he would prefer to play one of the other versions, not Clark Kent. And as long as they're not race-changing Clark Kent, and propping up one of these other Supermen that I don't really care about. It doesn't really bother me, but when they start race swapping every existing character, and they're out of gingers now. This is one reason why this is happening. They're out of gingers to erase. What's next? Well, we gotta get rid of Supergirl, Superman. We've gotta reach out further. We've gotta start race changing some other people. We ran out of redheads. Our agenda is complete. Those soulless, dirty redheads are gone. Good riddance. So there's a lot of speculation that, but this may not actually happen. Henry Cavill may absolutely be on board for the reboot. They may keep him around, even though somebody like Grace Randolph is saying that he's not really likable. That's what she's heard. As you can see here, she talks about Cavill has a likability problem. I don't know anything about that. I'm not going to claim to know anything about that. The way I've seen Cavill interact with fans, man, he's mostly likable, but maybe behind the scenes it's a different story. I don't really know. I don't really give a fuck. I would like to see Cavill continue on as Superman, and maybe he will, even though they might go with an all new Superman. This Calvin Ellis or Val-Zod. Don't know. I don't like it, but WB, don't they always make the best decision? Warner Brothers makes the best decisions. I mean, we have to trust them, right? They built up this incredible franchise that's just withstood every other franchise and just, oh wait, that's Marvel. Political activist, a journalist, and a comic book writer, and that writes about white supremacy and white privilege all the time. Nonsense. That writes nonsense. This is gonna be a pretty awful Superman movie. Whether they keep Henry Cavill or not, considering who the writer is, it just doesn't fit for Superman. And this writer doesn't go without preaching, lecturing about white privilege, white supremacy. He doesn't do it. He doesn't go without it. So, no matter how you spin it, whether Henry Cavill's in or out, this dialogue is going to be pretty cringe. This movie's going to be pretty cringe. Now, you're either going to have some black Superman, alternate version of Superman, which is better than race-changing Clark Kent, the most iconic version, right? But still, you're going to have him come down and have to deal with a bunch of racist whites, or I don't know, or maybe they will go with Henry Cavill, and will be some kind of narrative that he fits in because he looks white, and his role will be all about a representation of white privilege because he's super strong, powerful, and can do any and everything. And his role will just be a representation of this white privilege, this white supremacy crap. I can't get excited for this. I can't get hopeful for this, that it's going to go well. With this writer he's got on board.
Stop being so overtly happy about doing shit work, you moron.
I mean, JJ Abrams would give us a more lighthearted Superman project, I would assume. But if it's going to be a lecture, if it's not going to be escapism, if it's going to be just a reminder of real life activism, then you're missing the whole point. Superman's a symbol of hope, and it should be entertaining escapism, something that's enjoyable to watch, not something that gives you a headache and just reminds you of the shit that you try to look away from. Just, oh, these stupid things. Let me know your thoughts and opinions. Fake good one here. Eventually we will. Like, subscribe, share, stay awesome, rock on.